From house hunter scripting to the love it or list it lawsuit, America's premier home renovation network has faced its fair share of scandals and controversies over the years. And it's not always just the shows themselves causing all the trouble. Identical twin brothers David and Jason Benham looked all set to become HGTV's hottest new stars in 2014 when they landed the hosting gig on Flip It Forward. But the home improvement show never made it to air. In a report published by a liberal watchdog group, David was said to hold extremist views about the LGBTQ community, declaring that its ideologies are harming the country. He reportedly compared same-sex marriage to Nazism. It was also reported that he held controversial views about abortion and the Muslim community. Following the show's cancellation, the real estate entrepreneur told Deadline that he and Jason were victims of a smear campaign, but confirmed his concerns about a supposed gay agenda.
We were actually fired for simply voicing our opinions about marriage and sexuality within the context of marriage.
3 years later, the siblings doubled down in a piece for Charisma News, writing, "Discrimination against gay people simply does not exist. To say otherwise is disingenuous at best and misleading at worst." Religious objections in the marketplace have nothing to do with refusing to service people. Rather, they have everything to do with forced participation in ceremonies, messages, and events that are against believers' consciences. In 2020, David was arrested for disregarding pandemic restrictions to stage an anti-abortion protest outside a North Carolina clinic. In 2015, Christopher Dion made his one and only HGTV appearance when he hosted a show titled Family Flip, which failed to make it past the pilot stage. That wasn't the last we heard of him, though. In 2019, he was given a 3-year prison sentence after being convicted of child molestation. Dion was also put on the sex offenders register and given 10 years probation. His victim was the 10-year-old best friend of his daughter, whom he inappropriately touched on 2 separate occasions. He reportedly told her to not say anything, and that if she did, his daughter would lose her daddy. Dion continued to claim his innocence even after his release. In 2025, though, he was fired from his job at a communications company after bosses were alerted to his criminal record. HGTV fans know Charles Todd Hill from the 2014 show Flip It to Win It. But in 2024, he was given a 4-year jail sentence after being found guilty of several counts of financial and real estate fraud, including a Ponzi scheme. Hill pocketed millions from 11 victims over the years. He was given 10 years probation and forced to pay back $10 million that he spent on everything from rental apartments to flashy cars. In a statement, the Santa Clara County District Attorney said that Hill's imprisonment should serve as a warning. Some see the huge amount of money in Silicon Valley real estate as a business opportunity. Others, unfortunately, see it as a criminal opportunity. And we will hold those people strictly accountable. According to the DA's office, Hill used false balance sheets to cover up his crimes, which included, in one instance, taking $250,000 from an investor for a property remodel and leaving only a burnt-down shell. Anthony Sayers promising HGTV. I didn't really think anything of it, I guess.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, because it was just normal. It was the latter tragedy that ultimately inspired the Hawks to change their drinking habits. Just seeing how the last however long of her life had been was so incredibly sad. And then the guilt with not being able to do something about it. Like, well, we should have gone to her house sooner. We should have made her go to rehab. "We should have made her move in with us." But nobody knew. According to the couple, Steve quit drinking altogether, while Mina has only had an occasional drink. Ellen DeGeneres isn't just a daytime talk show host and stand-up comedian. With her wife, actor Portia de Rossi, DeGeneres has bought and sold more than 20 homes and properties, according to Architectural Digest. And she also published a book about interior design. With all that experience in her back pocket, DeGeneres then joined HGTV in 2015 with Ellen's Design Challenge, a reality competition show like Project Runway or Top Chef, but focused on furniture crafting and flawless design. But the first season of the series ended with one of the most shocking twists in reality TV. Contestant Tim McClellan was declared the winner, earning a $100,000 prize for designing a wooden desk in the Ultimate Challenge. But according to the Washington Post, a week after the finale taped, producers learned that established designer Simon Schacht had previously created a desk nearly identical to the one McClellan claimed as his own. McClellan was immediately disqualified, and his victory and prize money went to runner-up Katie Stout.
The solution for us is to start all over again.
DeGeneres invited McClellan onto her talk show to explain his side of the story. He said, "In recollection, I've never seen his piece. With that said, the similarities of the two pieces are quite compelling, and I understand the decision made and accept it." HGTV's long-running series Love It or Listed makes a life crossroads into a game. Should you move to a new home or renovate your current one and possibly later sell it? In 2015, according to the Miami Herald, realtor David Vizentine and designer Hilary Farr brought the whole Love It or Listed operation to Raleigh, North Carolina, for Dina Murphy and Timothy Sullivan.
Are you going to love it?
Or are you going to list it?
It's fair to say that Murphy and Sullivan did not love the work performed by the show. In 2016, the couple filed suit against production company Big Coat TV, alleging breach of contract and unfair trade practices over what they felt was extremely subpar renovation work. The pair were required to give Big Coat TV $140,000 and to use a local contractor they didn't like and who had poor customer ratings. And then Big Coat didn't even pay all of that money to the contractor, nor did it use a licensed architect. The result was a, quote, irreparably damaged floor, low-quality carpet installation, and multiple surfaces that were left unpainted. Murphy and Sullivan contend that they were essentially duped into paying for the production of an episode of the series instead of their actual home. Drew and Jonathan Scott, the identical twin house rehabbers and flippers who bill themselves as the Property Brothers, were the flagship personalities of HGTV. Since 2011, they've been all over the network, with shows like Property Brothers Forever Home, Buying and Selling, and Brother vs. Brother. The Scotts maintain a wholesome, warm image, and HGTV has reaped the profits from doing business with the duo. But both the twins and the network alike were dealt a blow when Jonathan Scott got into a seemingly uncharacteristic bar fight in North Dakota. According to USA Today, the Scotts arrived in Fargo to speak at a 2016 design conference, and late one night, Jonathan hit a local bar called Dempsey's Public House. At 2 a.m., staff attempted to close, which agitated Scott. According to TMZ, things escalated to the point where a bouncer placed Scott in a headlock. Claiming to have not done anything wrong and to have simply gotten caught up in a fight already in progress, Scott called 911 and reported the bouncer for assault. Prosecutors never charged Scott with a crime, citing a lack of evidence. Married since 2003, the Gaineses are a tight-knit, family-first couple who balance their many professional endeavors with the rearing of 5 children. They're also a deeply religious duo, and they've openly discussed their faith on a number of occasions, including Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul Sunday and at their church, Antioch Community Church, a non-denominational Christian congregation in Waco, Texas.
I was made for a reason, and I need to let whatever God has created me for, that needs to be known.
But in a 2016 report, BuzzFeed dug into the church's firm stance against same-sex marriage and promotion of conversion therapy, which the Human Rights Campaign has called a, quote, dangerous practice. Representatives of the Gaineses company did not respond to the story, but HGTV did, saying in a statement, "We don't discriminate against members of the LGBT community in any of our shows. HGTV is proud to have a crystal clear, consistent record of including people from all walks of life in its series." Reality TV has been around long enough that the general public has at least some sense that shows in the genre are carefully edited, staged, or juiced to maximize entertainment. That being said, HGTV's House Hunters was singled out in 2012 for a wrongdoing that could make it one of the most non-real reality shows on the air.
I don't think there's any way that the show could actually follow someone because real house hunts take months.
Former House Hunters participant Bobby Jensen wrote about her experience on the show for the blog Hooked on Houses. Jensen and her family were in the market for a larger house and planned on turning their present home into a rental property. But producers said their story wasn't exciting enough, so they instead pushed the idea that the family just needed a bigger home. Then Jensen blew up the whole concept of the show, which purports to follow a family as they look for a new home. According to Jensen, the couple had already signed the papers on a new house before their episode ever started production. She added, "When they decided to film our episode, we had to scramble to find houses to tour and pretend we were considering." Apparently, the losing homes the Jensens rejected were just the recently cleaned actual houses of their friends. One part of Chip and Joanna Gaines' portfolio of projects is the Magnolia Market at the Silos in Waco, Texas, a large upscale complex that includes shopping, a garden, and a cafe. It's an effective way for Gaines fans to get a taste of the Stars brand, but it was also the source of a squabble that didn't exactly cast the duo in the best light. In 2016, according to the Waco Tribune, Darren Farmer, a manager of Head Properties, filed a lawsuit against the Magnolia complex and Chip Gaines specifically. Farmer sought damages of $200,000 to $1 million over a gate installed by Gaines that blocks access to the adjacent property he controls. While Farmer bought his piece of land earlier in 2016, the previous owner had worked out a lease agreement with Gaines so that Magnolia employees and customers could park there. The lease expired, renewal talks between Farmer and Gaines fell apart, and so Gaines put up the gate. Farmer claimed, "Chip is just trying to strong-arm me because he doesn't want to pay what I am asking for that lot." A judge dismissed the lawsuit in 2017, according to KWTX, when the Gaineses simply bought Farmer's lot. Designer carpenter Carter Osterhaus entered the fray in 2004 with TLC's hit Trading Spaces, and then landed his own show on HGTV 3 years later with Carter Can. But in 2017, after he'd moved on to other projects, Osterhaus was accused of assault by a former colleague who had worked on Carter Can. Makeup artist Kaylee Kaminsky told The Hollywood Reporter that in 2008, Osterhaus repeatedly demanded she perform an intimate act on him, which she did after he threatened to fire her. Then Kaminsky alleged Osterhaus forced or coerced her into repeating the act 10 to 15 times. In response, Osterhaus called the allegations, quote, "upsetting," and admitted he had been in an intimate relationship with Kaminsky, but said it was a consensual arrangement. A producer on Carter Can told The Hollywood Reporter, "It didn't raise any red flags, so I don't think we suggested an intervention. It didn't seem like it was abusive." Osterhaus continued to work for HGTV in several capacities.